What's up, folks? Welcome to another edition of the Panther Fan Talk position breakdown. We're going to be talking about the running backs for the Carolina Panthers. I am Eric, and with me, as always, is Will.
Big time expectations in this category. We've got Run CMC.
Oh, jeez.
That was especially for Michael Seafong. He loves the Run CMC thing, so y'all be sure to tweet him all about it. I mean, that was the biggest move that we made in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't personally know that it's going to produce the biggest on the field. Not that I think he's going to be bad. I don't know how well he's going to be used, but that he's definitely the biggest splash. And of course, that's Christian McCaffrey, our number one draft pick.
Out of the Stanford University.
And you talk about a guy that's coming in with tons of expectations.
A lot of hype.
A lot of people are saying the most expectations since Cam, but for me, his expectations way exceed Cam's. Like, a lot of people were skeptical about Cam. It seems like everybody's already putting this dude in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he certainly has ability. Like, his highlights, watching him run, I mean, the guy can make an impact on a game. But how much impact will he make on a game and in the games this season? That's the question for us right now.
Yep.
So, I mentioned how well he'll be used. That's just one of the questions. So, give us your thoughts on Christian.
I think, like you said, man, I think a lot's going to be riding on him this season because it seems like, I don't know, it seems like we're putting a lot of load, or a lot of the, the offensive.
Drop the load.
It seems like we're putting a lot of the offensive pressure on him. And it's going to be interesting, man. Like, from what I hear, all the interviews I heard of him, he seems like a smart dude. He, carries himself well. Seems like he comes in ready to work, so I like that a lot. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Let's not forget this dude's a rookie. So, I mean, as much as you think how great he's going to be, he's only a rookie. And one of my main concerns about him is how well is he going to take those big hits, because he's not going to be able to shake everybody in the NFL. And he's going to get popped a couple times. We'll see how well he gets back up and reacts to that. So
He's dynamic. As we sit here today, everyone's expecting him to be in at slot, in the backfield, all these different formations, getting the ball, getting touches. Now, clearly he's a much different back than Tolbert was, but if you remember when we got Tolbert, everybody talked about he's going to be in the slot, he's going to be out wide, he's going to be in the backfield in different formations, and then the first year he got the ball like twice. And the next year, he's going to be out wide, and he's going to be in the slot, and blah, blah, blah. And it just never happened.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest concern with McCaffrey. We're going to have this mega talent sitting on the bench until he comes in, 10 plays a game.
Right.
Now, one of those plays, he might break something big. Maybe two of them he will, and he'll have a huge impact. But at the end of the day, if we're just going to toss the ball outside to Stewart, run it up the middle with Stewart, read option with Stewart, and then occasionally let McCaffrey touch the ball, how much impact can he have, really?
That's a good question.
That's my biggest concern as far as, with him. Clearly, he's not the only running back on the team. I just mentioned Jonathan Stewart. And Stewart, I mean, he's probably going to get the lion's share again. And he's good. I mean, the guy's been playing well. At some point, he's going to slow down, but I expect him to come out and have another productive season. But I think that he's going to need a second back out there helping take some of the load off of him. And I hope we give that to him.
Yeah. Yeah, we obviously drafted Christian McCaffrey for that very thing, and Stewart's, what is he, 30 now? 31, somewhere around in there?
He's been here forever, it feels like.
takes big hits. It seems like every season he's out a couple games because of little nagging injuries. We definitely need somebody to take some of that load off of him, and Christian McCaffrey seems like a good fit to do it, man. You know, Stewart's the bruiser back. We're going to bring in McCaffrey, who's more like the little lightning bolt, I guess you could say. I feel like, you know, Christian McCaffrey is going to be... he's going to be a... I don't know. I don't know what he's going to be.
I don't want to get too much into the receiving aspect because we're going to break that down when we get into receivers. But we're supposed to be changing our offense.
Right.
And we're going to have shorter passes, blah, blah, blah. If we do that, if we're willing to get McCaffrey the ball on screens, like if we actually learn what a screen is that doesn't involve throwing it to Greg Olsen.
Or the spin move.
Yeah, or the double pump fake.
Fade away.
Reverse fade away, spin a Rooney. But if we can get him out in space, and if we use him, I think he can really help our offense. I don't think he's necessarily the savior that some people think he is, because even if you take like the very best season Reggie Bush had, and you put him on our team last year, I don't know exactly how much it helped, but obviously it would help. And to say McCaffrey's going to be that good, you know, for his very first season this year, and I'm not saying he won't be better than Reggie Bush because I think he can be, but this year, I don't know that he's going to be the difference between 6-10 and even 10-6.
Right.
But I do think he can help, and I do think we desperately need to use him for the previously mentioned reasons. Now, one thing that I'm also interested in seeing is, will we use Cap if and when Stewart goes down and is out? Obviously, Cap will be on, you know, the sideline, not dressing out if Stewart's healthy. But if he's not healthy, will we do like we did last year with Fozzie? And instead of starting McCaffrey, will we start Cap, give him the carries, and still keep McCaffrey in the same role? Or will we start McCaffrey as our primary back?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, man. You know, Cap's like... You know, when Cap started last year for us, those couple of games Stewart was out, yeah, I thought he played good, especially against Tampa Bay. And if we're still going to go with that 1-2 punch with the running back, I feel like it's got to be Cap and McCaffrey, so we'll see about that. And also, one other thing we haven't touched on that McCaffrey brings is punt returner, man, or kick returner, or both. You know, we definitely need a good kick returner, punt returner. We had Ted Ginn returning punts, and it seemed like all he wanted to do was fair catch. So now we got a guy.
God, he's gone.
Now we got a guy who might actually try to do something with the ball, so that's going to be fun to watch, if anything else. And so it's another thing that, you know, McCaffrey can bring to the team. So
I'm really liking our running back position this year. I'm not, first of all, on the bandwagon of Cap should be gone. I like the dude. I think we should keep him around. I mean, he's got almost no mileage on him. Stewart, as we've mentioned, gets hurt, but Stewart's not going to be, you know, as good as he is forever.
Right.
So we could still have that same combination. I still think Cap is good enough to be a really good player in this league. If Stewart was to get traded, get cut, get, you know, just, and I'm not saying this is going to happen anytime soon, but when that does happen, we all know Gettleman's running the show. He's not going to have a running back here that isn't producing. He's going to cut him, whatever. Or if he just retires. Like, I think Cap can be that guy. I think him and McCaffrey in the future can be the 1-2 punch. But anyways, back to 2017. I really like our running backs. Like Stewart, McCaffrey, again, Cap. You know, the 2 games he gets to play. I like them a lot. I wonder what we're going to do with the fullback position. Like, how often we're going to even try to use a fullback.
Yeah.
I've heard more mention of the single backs sets and, you know, 4 receivers, especially with, again, McCaffrey moving outside or no, into the slot. But I hold that nagging question of what will our coaches do with it. I have no confidence in Shavera. The Shula Rivera combination.
Shavera.
And people, love to bash Shula, but he's not the only one, in those offensive meetings.
Right, right.
These plays aren't all on the fly. Like, we just don't have creativity that wasn't left from Chudzinski. If Chud didn't leave it here, we don't have it.
Right, that's true.
And so for that reason, man, I think our running backs are an A, but I think because of our play calling, our running backs are going to be a B.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I mean, we can have all the fancy running backs we want, but if we don't have the game plan for them, then, what's the use? So, like you said, I mean, who's got a lot of faith in Shula? Or, Rivera at this point, so. As far as grading the running backs, man, like you said, they're talented. I think McCaffrey's going to be good. Stewart, I think, is going to be good when healthy. I like Cap, too. I don't know exactly what we're going to do with him. But overall, I mean, I'm going to go with the B+ for the running backs.
I like it. So be sure to check out our other positional breakdowns here on Panther Fan Talk. Tweet us
At Panther Fan Talk on Twitter. And I am at EricD65 on Twitter.
and give our good buddy Two Wheel Panther a follow. And we'll check you out right here. As always,
Keep
pounding.